Okay, it says we are live. I am back, you guys. Again, my apologies. A good friend of mine I grew up with in Japan, military buddy of mine, stopped by. I don't see him often. He was on his way to his VA appointment and he had to cancel the rain and all kinds of stuff. So, he doesn't come to this side as much anymore. So he stopped by and we chatted it up. And, as we usually do, he and we get into it about politics and we catch up and we just talk about things that we believe in. And of course, he's on the opposite side of where I am in regards to the Democratic Party. And I respect it. Again, I respect it. I mean, he's a very sharp guy, almost, I would say just as sharp as I am. But, he's worried about his interest in regards to what has happened. So, I had to chat it up with him real quick. But the good thing about being retired, I can get on here at any old time and, just start popping off at the mouth. But the important thing about what I try to explain to people is this Donald Trump derangement has people so messed up that you got people that have family members that don't want to talk to their family members. They're mad and all this other stuff. We should be able to talk and respect each other's opinion. You don't have to believe each other's opinion, but you should be able to respect it. Now, I don't agree with anything that my friend was telling me. He's more of a everybody person. What's good for everybody. And I'm more of an individual, can't even say that. I'm more of an individually focused group person. I don't believe in helping everybody if I can't help my own people first. I have to help my own people first. A lot of you guys out there, you guys believe in helping everybody, and that's great. Can't take that from you. I think it's the wrong approach, personally, because you got to take care of home before you take care of everybody else. If I came to your house and you had a loaf of bread and you had a choice between feeding your kids and feeding me, what are you going to do? Human nature means you take care of yourself first before you worry about anything else. When you go on a plane, what's the first thing they teach you? Put on your mask first before you worry about anybody else, right? So I believe a lot of people are misguided in regards to how they look at things like that. But I love debating them. Even when we were in high school, we would get on the school bus and he and I would just be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Very knowledgeable. He's got his numbers, he got his sources, and I got my sources. And the thing is, just like in high school, I stand on my square. He stands on his square. And, and at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, all right, bro, I'm gonna catch you later. All right, everything's cool. Everything is cool. So again, my apologies for cutting the broadcast short. Still raining here. A lot of stuff going on. But me and him talked about a whole bunch of things that I was talking about here on the show. And hasn't changed my mind. Not one bit. I believe I am correct. Again, regardless of how much you hate Donald Trump, he got elected by a majority. Doesn't matter how I vote. I voted the way I voted. I'm not going to hide for that. Yeah, I voted for Trump, but I'm not a Trump supporter. I voted for Trump because, hey, nothing from nothing is still nothing. So why not? Why not try something different? That's what I did. But as I said in the last show, I was showing you guys the opposition to Donald Trump. Like I said, we have all these people that don't like Donald Trump, but what's the opposition? Me and my friend, we were debating, and he was saying, well, now there's nothing the Democrats can do because he has the presidency, the House, and the Senate. I said, really? I said, wow, there's nothing you guys can do. I remember when the Democrats under Biden had the Congress, they had the House, they had the Senate, and they had the presidency. But they're going to tell us, the American people, and the people who voted them into office, because I didn't vote the Democrats into office, that with all controlling all three branches of those governments, of those entities, not a government, but the entities, they couldn't get anything done. Oh, they're filibustering us. We can't get nothing done. We need a super majority. Oh, we can't get it done. Oh, the parliamentarian said it can't be done. We have to do it a certain way. Oh my God, we can't do anything. The Democrats, even when they have all three branches of government, still can't get any of their legislation that they promised that they would get through. See, and we forget these little games that they play. And my friend forgot about that as well. So if the Republicans can filibuster, and if they could play these games as the minority party, why can't the Democrats do it? And remember, every new Congress that comes in, they create their own rules. The filibuster is not a law. It's just something stupid they put up for the Dixiecrats in the 1950s. Strom Thurmond, I believe it was Strom Thurmond, had the longest filibuster in history. These were Democrats, Dixiecrats specifically, that was opposed to integration and civil rights movement. Think about that. The party that fought against civil rights was the Democrats. But yet we give the Democrats all of this glory that they do for the people and they do all these great things. But yet this was the party that was against integration. This was the party that was killing and maiming people down in Birmingham, Alabama. OG Life Japan, what is up, brother? I believe it's morning there. So Ohio gozaimasu to you in Japan. Tokyo, by the way. So, I point these things out, brothers and sisters of the choir, of the church, because I'm trying to show you guys the games that they're playing. They got why are we questioning? They have all the money for illegals. No study is being done. Give them the resources, give them the money, give it to them. But when it comes to Black citizens, FBAs, which is what article, is it 14th, the 14th Amendment or 15th Amendment, whatever one it is. 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment was specifically for FBA. When it comes to us, nothing could get done. Why aren't you guys questioning that? I just showed you guys and told you guys that when the Democrats have all the power in the government, they still can't get anything done. Oh, it's the filibuster. Oh, the parliamentarian. But now Donald Trump is in power and he's using the executive pen, overwhelming government. And the Democrats tell you, Hakeem Jeffries says there's nothing he could do. Their answer is, we need to elect more Democrats. Nancy Pelosi, they asked her on MSDNC, why, where's the opposition? What's going on? Why aren't they fighting? Oh, her answer was, paraphrasing, oh, we can't fight until the election cycle starts. So Nancy Pelosi, you're more worried about the election cycle and you being elected than you are to put up a resistance to the Republicans and Donald Trump. Do you see where their priorities are, you guys? This is what we're just pointing out. I'm just pointing these things out. I don't care if you vote for Democrats or not. But I would tell you, if you vote for Democrats, you're not going to get anything, especially as a Black person. My friend gave me some really good things to think about, but it wasn't enough to change my mind. Individually, if we think of ourselves as individually, what we're going to lose, yeah, of course you would be worried. He's a federal worker. He sees that they're laying off federal workers. He's worried about his job. But I also told him and encouraged him, you have more money than you know what to do with. He's a retired military person. He's, a VA recipient of benefits. He has more money than he knows what to do with. So why is he worried? Do me a favor, you guys, like, share, and subscribe on your platforms. And real quick, I want to show you guys the face of the opposition to Donald Trump. And I think I showed it last time, but I'm going to show it in a picture this time, I guess. And hold on. Wait, I know a lot of you guys saw this. It was on Facebook. Give me a second here. I'm gonna key it up as quickly as I can. And to do that, I am going to hold on here. I want you guys to see this because it's incredible. Okay. We're going to key this up real quick. You guys can see me there. I'm going to unplug. So there we go there. And I'm going to go to this video over here. And I want you guys to see this. Hold on. Let me make sure I can. Okay, you guys can see. I want you guys to hear this. This is Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. Yes. Nothing we can do. Oh my God. Did you guys hear that? Anybody hear that? There's no, I can't hear the video. Wow. Oh man. I don't know why it's not giving you guys sound. I just don't know. I don't know. I want to give you guys sound. It should have given you guys sound. I hate it. I'm not going to do it no more. But anyway, that was the Young Turks. And the Young Turks, what they were talking about. Yeah, I think it's something in the program here because I didn't buy the subscription. But anyway, don't worry about it. I will paraphrase it for you. Basically, Hakeem Jeffries was sitting there. This is the House Minority Leader. And he was basically telling his constituents, the American people that are Democrats, there is nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. The Republicans have all branches of government, so we're just going to lay down and, hey, just call it a day. Hey, we're done. We're done. That's basically what he's saying. And you guys wonder why I'm a recovering Democrat. These guys have no fight in them. None. It's like, again, it's like being a Dallas Cowboy fan. You sound good. You look good. God is watching over you, but you can't win. You don't want to win. Jerry's getting $1 billion, in profit if he wins or loses. That's how the Democrats are. Hey, I'm getting my money from AIPAC. I'm getting my millions of dollars. Doesn't matter what the American people want. The people that vote me into office, doesn't matter. I have never heard a leader sit there and say there's nothing we can do. when the Democrats were in power, and Anna Kasparian was saying that in there, they don't deliver when they have all reins of government, and now they're crying about they can't do anything when they don't have reins of government. So what is she saying there? When the Democrats are in power, they pass what they want to pass, right? So when Biden was in office, he had the House and the Senate, and then he had the presidency. He could have passed college debt forgiveness. They didn't want to do that. He didn't even need to go to Congress to do that. He could have done that by executive pen. But Democrats get in there and they say, oh my God, there's nothing we can do. We don't have a supermajority. We need a supermajority. That's a rule. Every Congress makes its own rule. Whoever's in charge, they make their own rules. So when you get in charge, why don't you just say, we're getting rid of the filibuster, we're getting rid of the supermajority, and we're just going to have a majority vote rule, just like they do in Congress. You know, who majority vote, that's who gets it. But see, Democrats don't do that because these people are playing you guys. This is what we're trying to get you guys to see. One party, the ruling party. There is no Democrat and Republican. Both are corporation-owned parties. You ask a Democrat, what's the biggest problem in government? They're going to tell you Citizens United, money in politics. But when they were in power under the Biden administration recently, what did they do about Citizens United? Absolutely nothing. But now that the Republicans are in charge, oh my God, we've got to do something about money in politics. Look at Elon Musk. He's showing all the money and all the slush funding and all that other good stuff. Very, very sad. But let me give you guys a hello, Crystal Watson. Good to have you here. Brother OG, your astrological thinker. Thank you for coming back. I don't know why it won't give you guys sound. So I don't know. I have no clue what that's about. Troy Scott, Odd Negroes official, welcome back. Star Child, welcome. Star Child says, he said Republicans own everything now and they can't do anything. But when the Democrats are in office and Republicans still do what they want. There it is, you guys. I should have read that. There it is. If Star Child could see that and I could see that, I'm very sure you guys can see that too. Oh, the parliamentarian. The parliamentarian is somebody who just, it's like somebody who interprets the law and the rules of what they can do. But the Democrats will quickly blame the parliamentarian why they can't get nothing done. They have a good example here in California, reparations. How, please somebody explain to me, in a Democratic state that is Democratic proof, as California, you can't get reparations for the very people that is most loyal to your party. Democratic governor, Democratic Senate, Democratic Assembly here in California. But yet, the Black CBC killed their own bill. Now, Ayanna Pressley is out here acting like she's going to reintroduce HR40. A study. Now, let's run it back. How many of you guys remember under the Biden administration? HR40 has been around since the early 1990s under John Conyers. Biden's in control. Democratic House, Democratic Senate, Democratic President. This is a study. Nancy Pelosi wouldn't even bring it to the floor. Why is that? Some people will tell you, well, you know, the Republicans wouldn't vote for it anyway. That's not the point. Your most loyal voters needed a vote on that so we can see who will vote on it and who will not. Are you guys aware of the 1968 Voting Rights Act? The only reason Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, signed it is because every Republican voted for it. And it passed with some Democrats that were for it. But what about the Democrats that weren't for it? The majority of the Democrats was not for the 1968 Civil Rights Bill, whatever that bill was, that was very historic in 1968. Don't quote me on that. But you guys know where I'm going. The Democrats were opposed to civil rights legislation. Overwhelmingly, the Republicans voted. And I'm not big upping the Republicans today, the Republicans of today. But the facts are the facts. He had to sign that bill. But we don't want to give the Republicans any credit for anything that they've done correctly. But we don't even want to acknowledge the Democratic Party that continues to oppose Black liberation in this country, be it financial, be it healthcare wise, be it anything. Have you guys noticed that? It is the Democrats overall that opposes what Black people need. Overall, all these excuses. Am I the only one that notices that? We want to hide, what we do. What does Nancy Pelosi care if the bill, which is a study, gets voted down because of the Republicans? Or is it that she's running cover for Democrats that don't want Black people to have a study? Or is she herself a racist herself? Has that ever crossed anybody's minds? It's crossed mine. Hello, Thunder. So yeah, these are some of the things I wanted to talk about and show you guys. And I want to show you guys the opposition to the Democrat Party. Let's see, Maxine Waters and Chuck Schumer. Let's take a look at this. We'll go to images. I just want to go to the images. There we go. I can blow that up. Let's see. Let's visit. Let's go visit it. This is from Politico. And as you guys see, this is Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, and the whole Democratic people that came out. And look at all the gray heads back there, okay? Frustrated Democrats want the Senate to fight harder. It has in many ways been business as usual in the Senate during Trump's second term. Chuck Schumer rallied Tuesday at the Treasury Department to oppose Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Activists called on him to shut down the Senate. This is your opposition to Donald Trump. Mike Nice, think about this. The geriatric gang is the opposition to Donald Trump. Question. How long has Chuck Schumer been in Congress? How long has Maxine Waters been in Congress? How long has a lot of these Democrats that are fighting for you, Jimbo Clyburn, been in Congress? Over 40 years. And you guys are sitting there thinking the very people that have been sitting on their asses for 40 years now had an epiphany and are going to fight for you. Think about that. Now they've got the gumption. Dag nabbit. I got to talk the way they would most likely be talking. Dag nabbit. We're going to fight Donald Trump and all these other things because in 40 years we haven't done shit. And we're going to do it now. And we're going to show you folks. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. My teeth are falling out. Are you guys serious? Are you guys serious? This is almost bad as putting up Kamala Harris to run against Donald Trump. Now, what my friend had said, and I never really thought about this, it didn't matter who the Democrats put up. Trump was unbeatable. Well, damn, nigga, if you know that, why are you complaining? And then it was inevitable. Right? You guys, come on, guys. 70, 83, 87-year-old people are the resistance to Donald Trump. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'll be 55 this year. I did 24 years in the military. I did 24 years in my youth. I joined the military when I was 17 and I left when I was 42. Let's just do my math. I'm 55 now and I think I still got it, but I don't. You mean to tell me these people who are my parents' age, 75 years plus, they are leading the resistance and they're going to be successful? Most of them have been sitting in Congress for over 30 years. If you haven't been successful in 30 years of sitting in Congress, what makes you think you're going to be successful now? What tactics are you going to use? Because you just heard Apprentice Jeffries, who's controlled basically by Nancy Pelosi, because Nancy Pelosi is basically still the speaker in shadow. He just said, there's nothing we can do. Absolutely nothing we can do. Just give up. They've got it. They won. Why would he say this? Because they're the same party. They're the same, they're the same thing. Odd Negroes official said, we've wasted 70 years on the Democrats. Yeah, we've wasted longer than that, actually. We have to go back to like 1920, well, FDR, so 1930s. Yeah, so it's a little bit more than that. I would say 1930s. FDR came into office in like 1932, gave the New Deal and stuff. So yeah, a little over 70 years. Democrats, are you guys serious? Are you guys serious? This is your opposition to Trump. And we're, younger people are supposed to look at you guys and go, yeah, I'm going to get behind them. I want to share with you guys real quick. I know you guys can't hear this, but I want to share with you guys this. And in the comments, please tell me what you think of this if you've never seen it before. Odd Negroes official says they are ineffective and they are blocking our progress. It shows we need new representation, right? And that new representation needs to know that if you're not going to do the job, you're not going to be sitting in there for 30 years. You'll be out by the next election cycle. And Ayanna Pressley and Jasmine Crockett, once again, Black ladies, sisters, do you see how the Democratic Party uses you guys to do their bidding? They're trying to push these people out there as if they're going to be the new voices of the Democratic Party. That's fine to be the new voice, but what good is being the new voice if you're still delivering zero? It's insane. But I want you guys to, hey, Stephen Hill, Thunder, Mike Nice, your avological thinker, everybody's back. Hello, hello, hello. Stephen Hill says, good afternoon, Donovan. I'm 60 going on 61. My mind says yes, but my body says no. Brother, yes. And yes, I still listen to R. Kelly. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He made really good music. Yes, I do. So, Star Child, the Democrats are training the new younger Democrats to do the same thing that they are doing, nothing for Black Americans. Yeah, and you could see it. You can see it in what they're doing. There's no outrage outright. And I'm not a Zionist, and I'm not anti-Semitic. But I'm gonna tell you this: AIPAC recruits these young Black Negroes and Hispanics at a very young age, and they fund them to run. So when you see these young, dynamic looking Black representatives, follow the money. Follow the money. Jasmine Crockett is heavily funded by AIPAC. Cori Bush was heavily funded by AIPAC, and she stepped out of line, and they ran money against her, and she is now out. But she's got $10 million for what? I think she served twice for 4 years, $10 million, big old mansion stuff on the east side of St. Louis and stuff like that. So she did well for herself. Remember, she was out defiant. We haven't heard from her since. So Odd Negroes official says, who was the Black lady that was speaking at Trump's rallies? Trump likes her, and she was using our talking points. Yeah, that was that one chick. Trump went into what restaurant was that? Was that a Burger King? He went into some restaurant, and she wanted to take a picture with him. I forgot her name, but yeah, she's going to go far. I think they hired her in the White House. She's like a outreach person, so she's still out there. She's still out there. So, again, see, for you to remember that, this is what I'm talking about. We got to get out there and keep the pressure on. These Democrats think with the election coming up, the congressional election coming up, that's going to be their chance to get back and stop Donald Trump and go back to nothingness, right? Even though I don't expect to get nothing from Donald Trump because he didn't promise Black people nothing in this election. But illegal immigration, that's helping us as Black people. Getting these illegals out of here, that helps Black people. So for the Democrats to want to come in and do all this, and this is what Nancy Pelosi said, and I'm paraphrasing. On MSNBC, they asked her, well, what's the plan? What's the opposition? Well, right now, we're not going to do anything. We got to wait until the election cycle starts. Why do we have to wait until the election cycle starts? Do you know how much damage a president could do in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years? Do you know how much damage could be done? Look at Dalton, Illinois. Look at Thornton, Illinois. Look at New Orleans. Look at Baltimore. And I'm sorry that I have to point out these Black-led Democratic cities. Look at Chicago. Look at New York. I'm sorry I have to point these out, but they're Democratic strongholds, and we overwhelmingly are Democratic born and bred and raised. I'm sorry. Look how much damage has been done. And Nancy Pelosi's answer is, I'm worried about my reelection. I'm not worried about the American people. This man is supposed to be a Hitler, but yet you're not going to do anything until the election cycle. And then hopefully, just like your boy Hakeem says, or he alleges, there's not enough of us to do anything. So just roll over with no Vaseline. Bend over. Just take it with no Vaseline. This is what they're saying. This is what they're saying, you guys. Crystal Watson says, Michaela, your average thinker says, how come Jefferson is the leader in AIPAC, right? No. AIPAC is a separate group funded by basically Israel, Jews, and they give money to people who support Israel and what they're doing. Have you noticed? Jasmine Crockett doesn't say anything about the genocide going on in Gaza. Have you noticed that? Hakeem Jeffries does take a lot of money from AIPAC. They fund these candidates. That's what AIPAC does in the name of Israel. Okay. Crystal Walken, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, it was a Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. That was a Chick-fil-A that she was at. Odd Negroes official says we should reach out to reach out to her to get in Trump's ear. Yes. Ali Davis says, hey, Donovan, did you get your White House press passes? No, not yet. Not yet. DC is the chocolate city. I would have, I would be too busy at the strip clubs in Baltimore and those areas even to go to the White House. That's how I be thinking when I go to Chocolate City. Every time I would fly into Andrews Air Force Base at the NCO Club, oh my God. Ooh la la, the women there, beautiful. But anyway, Facts Not Feelings says, Trump is helping us by clearing out the corruption in the government that stand in the way of blacks getting services that will go to illegals. But Facts Not Feelings, you have more people that will fight, black people that will fight against that. I was like, what's wrong with an audit? Don't you want to know where your money's going? And even when you show them where the money is going, they don't believe it. But you live in the ghetto. You can't get your potholes in your basic potholes in your street filled. But billions of dollars are going for gay parties in Morocco, let's say, and all these other countries and all this other stuff. LGBTQ this and, you know, propaganda news outlets that. Millions of dollars. They don't care. You know, it's insanity. And again, you guys, when you guys talk to, you know, to your friends and family and stuff like that, I don't even get mad anymore because, like, again, I was 46 years old by the time I left the Democratic Party. Some people get it right off the bat. Other people, it might take a lot longer. It might take a lot longer. So a lot of our civil rights people, a lot of them, they're just stuck in their ways. They don't care what you tell them. I look at that devil Jamal Bryant, and that's my opinion, in the church, in a so-called church. And I look at the people in that church and I'm like, how can you sit here and listen to a pastor that is caught up in child support issues with people and women that are not even his wife or his ex-wife? It's crazy. These people think that this man is going to lead them to heaven or resurrection here on the earth. I don't know where they think they're going. Facts Not Feeling, peace and love, family. Trump is helping blacks by opening up jobs. Yeah, and again, these aren't great jobs, but they're jobs. Jobs that we can have. But when you let other groups come in here and undercut us, remember McDonald's back in the day? If you worked at McDonald's, which was a lot of our first jobs, I never worked at McDonald's because I lived overseas. We weren't allowed to do that. But if you worked at McDonald's, they used to give you tuition for your schooling, free meals. So you used to be able to eat, bad food, but you got to eat, and whatever else was going on with those programs with McDonald's, right? Now, when you let the illegals come here, they work for $2, no benefits. They're not going to college because they don't have the paperwork. So who wins? The corporations win. And we lose because now we can't benefit from that job, the tuition assistance, the free food, and whatever else comes with that. So we keep forgetting about that stuff. Facts Not Feelings, peace and love, family. Trump is helping. I already read that. Facts Not Feelings. Trump is helping us by clearing out the corruption in the government that stand in the way of blacks getting services that will go to illegals. Right. Odd Negroes official says Trump was talking about the platinum plan, specifically us in his last term. Exactly. And that platinum plan is still in his platform. Facts Not Feelings, talking to Odd Negroes. Odd Negro official says the black girl that worked at Chick-fil-A, her name was Michaela Montgomery. That's who it was. Thank you so much. Cooking with Miss D, welcome back, Queen. No Vaseline, Donovan. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm into that, but like the song says, nobody wants to get done without no Vaseline. I mean, if that's what you're into, but they're doing it no Vaseline. Allie David, the Democrats don't know how to blush. Stephen Hill says, not me. I was never for the Democrats. My mom and dad were. I never looked back. Yeah. See, and like I said, some of us wake up. Your Logical Thinker says, I've seen Hakeem Jeffries on the AIPAC website. Yeah, he's back big by them. And why wouldn't he be? He's now the minority leader. So if he becomes majority leader again, even more money comes to him because he has influence. Because when you're the leader, right? The leader of the House decides what comes to the floor for a vote. So it's a very powerful position. Very, very powerful. So again, we can't let these Democrats think that the congressional elections it's going to be business as usual. No, we have to look at these candidates and get them up out of there based on their records and what they've not done for Black people. Facts Not Feelings says, same kind of corruption we see with African leaders in Africa is the same corruption with Black leaders in the US. The same AIPAC buy off the African leaders overseas, and the same AIPAC buy off CBC. Exactly. But here's another thing, Facts Not Feelings, I want you guys all to think about. And I'm not throwing shade. I have been looking on YouTube at city councils all around the country, especially where Black people are. And I see these Africans, and I'm going to assume they're African because of their last names. They got these godly, and I mean godly in a good way. They got these godly names, which make them stand out. And I would say that they're African, right? I see these Africans on city councils, and I say, big mistake to let these people on city councils. Just like the big mistake is we have here in California when we let all of these Hispanics on the city council here in California. They gentrify us physically from our neighborhoods, and they gentrify us politically to where we have no voice. And what I'm saying about the Africans is this. And I've got friends that are Africans, and I think I've got some family members that are Africans and stuff as well. What I'm saying about this, these people, not saying all of them, I'm just saying in general, we should not be doing that, because these people look out for their people, okay? When we wanted to unite with them and bring them in, and as a lot of people have come into this country under our suffering and our deaths, what did they do? They went and formed their own communities. You got Little Swahili over here. You got Koreatown. You got Little Havana. You got all of these areas where they didn't want to unite with us. But that's their mindset. Their mindset is, we're not like them. They're not like us, Black Americans. They're African. I'm from Africa. And I was looking at this city council meeting, and this one African guy was sitting there, and he was just like talking down to the Black people that he's supposed to represent. But I'm almost sure he got on the city council in the district where there's a lot of Africans are that elected into the city council. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't, but I'm just saying be very cautious of that. There's a young man, and I think Jackson, Mississippi. He has an African name. I would say that he's a descendant of his father was African, or he changed his name African. He could be an American, but the point is he's identifying as an African. He's up for major corruption charges right now. We have to be very careful, you guys. We have to be very careful. These people come from a culture which is different than ours. They're not like us. And eventually, when one gets on the council, the other gets on the council, then the other gets on the council, then you have no voice as a Black American. Their interests aren't your interests. 5 council members in my city. 1 Black person is on the council. And she's an everybody liberal. Oh, well, everybody should be okay. We should all be able to get along. Bitch, you're a Black woman. You're a Black, you should be fighting. Fight, fight, fight. No fight whatsoever. Then her excuse is, well, I don't represent everybody. I just represent my little area. Well, bitch, fight for the Negroes that you represent in your area. You know? So anyway, don't get me started on that, guys. Facts Not Feeling this. Okay, Cooking with Miss Lee says, take the jobs for what they are, period. Yeah. Stephen Hill says, yeah, back in the day, school kids had summer jobs. No, not no more. We don't invest in the youth. We're just worried about the seniors and their Social Security and federal employees who've been on the job for 40 years and can't work a damn computer, but they're collecting a check. We're worried about them. We're worried about the senior centers. We don't invest in our youth. Then we wonder why these youth are so despondent and they're cooking their brains, smoking weed that is laced with who knows what. Then we wonder why we got these walking zombies running around, right? Star Child says, I saw a news clip where AIPAC said they get young blacks up and comers while in college, and sometimes they can catch them in high school. Yes, that is exactly how Mammy Simone Sanders started. Jasmine Crockett started exactly that way. That's what I'm saying. If we did our homework and really researched these politicians and we follow the money, that will tell you a whole lot. My assembly member here, I just FOIA'd 2 weeks ago because he wasn't responding to me. You guys that follow me, remember I was talking about Corey Jackson? He was one of the Negroes that stopped the reparations vote and thinks he's going to get away with it, right? Doesn't want to meet with me at all. So you know what I did? I FOIA'd his travel records. I FOIA'd his credit cards. I FOIA'd his supply discretion of his office. I requisitioned how many paper clips was bought within a certain fiscal year. I subpoenaed or I FOIA'd his staff salaries, their names, all of that. When I did that, I got a phone call the next day. Still doesn't want to meet with me. Well, Donovan, well, this is how you do it, whatever, and you got to send your request to this office, whatever. I said, no, don't tell me the law. I can FOIA any government institution, and it's your job to forward it where it's supposed to go, period. That's the law. I don't have to send it directly, especially if I don't know. I'm a regular civilian, right? I can go into any government entity and say, I want to FOIA this. I don't know where it goes. You FOIA it. You send it to where it needs to go. Just give me a receipt that I did so. How many of you guys know that? By law, they have to give me those answers. And so what I'm doing is I want that information, but I'm also making it very difficult for them to function as an office. And if they don't give me the information, I can sue. And then when I sue, guess what else I get? I get discovery. I get discovery. Now you are compelled by a court to give me what I want, and you're going to have to explain why I didn't get this information. Yeah, you got to use the law to your advantage. I got a call the next day. Is there anything else we can do for you, Donovan? Well, I want to meet with Corwell. He's not going to meet with you on that. You can't tell me what I can meet with and what I can't meet with, because guess what? We're a republic. You are denying me my First Amendment rights to address my grievances with my government. You are my representative. I want to know why you voted down reparations so that I can take appropriate action based on the information that you're telling me. So his chief of staff was like, well, that isn't his bill. He had nothing to do with that, whatever. Is he a member of the Black CBC here in California? Yes. So he had nothing to do with it, but there is no statement of him opposing what was done, being outraged, making a statement, fighting to get it there. So where I come from, silence is complicity. If you're silent about it, you must be fine with it. And I want that information so that when he runs for re-election, you're out of here. But you know what the sad thing is? All of the Black seniors that live here in this area that have moved here from LA, because they really don't know the politics here, they support this guy wholeheartedly. But we'll see if they support him when I show them that this guy stopped the reparations bill, which would have kept them in their homes in South Central Los Angeles rather than losing their homes and coming out here to where I live. Yeah. So Crystal Watson says, I voted against Senator Casey, gave him my term limit. Yep. Facts Not Feeling says, what is so shocking is how bold and open Black Democrats are with offering nothing specific for Blacks. They literally look in the camera and offer us HR40 knowing it means nothing. Yep. Yep. And guess what? We allow it. We allow it because you're going to reelect them, right? We're going to reelect these people. They don't care. My assembly member, for those of you guys that don't know, he introduced a bill in the California Assembly to give politicians a pension after serving 10 years in the legislature. Politicians should get a pension. This is the kind of shit he's on. You can't vote for reparations for black people, but when it comes to gay, illegal, dreamers, he's all down for that shit. He is a member of the gay community. It is what it is. But you got black skin. If you're going to do for these groups, why aren't you doing for the group that you were born into? I'm just saying. Don't hate on me. I believe being gay is a choice. That's what I believe. Because God doesn't make a mistake. If you read the Bible, one of the most detestable things in the Bible is a man that lays with another man. So don't sit there and tell me God said this is cool to do. You're born that way. That would, to me, that would go against what the Bible says. And I don't think God is hypocritical, which is the worst thing you could be in the Bible. That's just me. Yeah, Odd Negroes official. Yes, they're very tribal. When these people, especially the Africans, when they get some sort of power, they are very tribal. If you're not from their tribe, they are not going to hire you. They're not going to put you on. They're not going to do any of that. There was a lady, I believe, is she in Philadelphia? She was the first homeless, illegal, what was the word? She was illegal. And she is a member of the city council in Philadelphia, some city near Philadelphia or whatever the deal is. She was recently caught, and it is alleged she was getting bribes out of the bathroom. She was picking up bribes out of the bathroom. And she had hired her son and somebody else as part of her staff, which goes against the rules in Philadelphia. It's a big mess. But yeah, Odd Negroes official, it's tribalism. And that's where they come from because they know their culture. And I'm not saying it's a bad culture, and it's not a bad thing to be. You take care of your people, which is what I'm trying to do, which is what we're trying to do. Give our people the information. It's us versus them, right? So, facts not feel. Yep. They have to fight in them. Yeah. Allie Davis says they come to take. Yep. Your average logical thinker. Fight. It's right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But see the excuses the Democrats come up with? Well, there's not enough black people in my thing. You're one. Fight. You have family members. Fight. Everybody knows wrestling is real, right? Everybody knows wrestling is real. At least I do. I know wrestling is real. They do suffer. That guy's actually falling on the mat. He's hitting the mat. That guy's actually throwing that punch, even though it's a soft punch. The point is it real or is it fake? So even if that's the case, there are not a lot of black people in your district, you should be acting like it. Maxine Waters, she doesn't work for black people anymore. She got reelected because of the Hispanic vote. But look how she acts. Like she's down for the cause. She's down for black people. You don't see Maxine saying anything about the Hispanics, but they keep her in there because she keeps bringing resources to the Hispanic community. So anyway, yeah, you guys are going in now. Allie Davis says, so many Democrats are going to go to jail. That's why they're shielding audits heavily. Yeah. Odd Negro official says, since 40 acres and a mule is in the conversation again, how do we at least hold the government to that to fulfill that promise? Well, Odd Negroes official, I'm going to say this, and I love my sisters, but y'all are the most educated, and this, that, and y'all are all these lawyers and all this other stuff. Since these black women and these sororos and these fraternities are the highly educated, why aren't they using that highly great education to fight for us in the courts of the United States? I was stationed in Alaska for 5 years, and I'm going to tell you this. The Native Americans all across this nation. Do you guys want to know why the Alaska pipeline is above ground? If you go to the state of Alaska, the pipeline from the oil reserve is above ground. You guys want to know why that is? Because the natives who own the land refused to let the corporations and the oil companies put it in their sacred ground. How did they do that? They took their standing treaties that had been sitting for years, unhonored by the United States, because we know America continually broke treaties with our native brothers and sisters. They continually just disregarded it. Their young lawyer corps and their young educated folks took those old treaties and argued every court jurisdiction they had to argue when it finally got to the Supreme Court, because they had a legal and standing document. The United States had no leg to stand on and had to honor. The corporations were forced not only to build the pipeline above ground as the natives wanted, they also have to pay the native tribes. It's like a stipend every year. It's like an oil depletion stipend, whatever, and all the tribes get it. And that's how that came to be. Their young people used their legalese that they learned in the white man's colleges. Yeah. Benny has to go use the bathroom. Sorry about that. They learned in the white man's colleges against him, and they won. They won. Where are our black scholars? We got Ben Crump running around as a civil rights attorney, which is great. But why isn't Ben Crump arguing the George Floyd case in the Supreme Court? Why, where are these great legal scholars? Do you know what they're doing? They're going to get a bag. That's what they're doing. They're putting their interest above the tribe. That's what they're doing. Who was that probate judge in Atlanta that just got removed for incompetence? Sorry, sisters, another sister. Weave fell off, her wig fell out. She was fighting at the club. She was the highest paid judge, and I believe in Georgia. And she was just a probate judge. She blew that. I mean, what's wrong with us, you guys? Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing. What is wrong with us? That's how we do it, though, Odd Negroes official. We have to have legal standing and doing all this. But here's the thing with the 40 acres and a mule. When General Sherman issued that, which he had every right to do in the field of war, you can do whatever you need to do what you got to do, right, in the field of war. But again, he's subjected to what the president wants to do. Lincoln was assassinated. Guess who became president from Tennessee? Johnson. A racist. He dismantled everything that he could that Lincoln would have wanted to repair the country and bring everybody together with Reconstruction. He totally opposed Reconstruction. But he also was the very first president to be impeached or faced impeachment. He didn't get impeached, but he faced impeachment. But if you look at the whole situation of Abraham Lincoln and the slave thing, isn't it strange how a Democrat became his running mate? And then Lincoln is assassinated, and all of a sudden that 40 acres and a mule, which Johnson was the president at the time, he repealed that. As a president, he could do it. He didn't have to go to Congress because he's the commander in chief. So he could have done that, and he did that. Notice how the Republicans, the radical Republicans, they didn't stop it. They established a Freedmen's Bureau, but the 40 acres and a mule had nothing to do with the Freedmen's Bureau. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. They took a few blacks, put them in some state houses for a few years. Then the Democrats came roaring back and lynched all of them and killed a lot of them. And, the Ku Klux Klan was formed and all this other stuff. It's crazy. But real quick, before we get lost, I want to, yeah, that was Boston. Yeah, in the bathroom. Sorry, you're right. Mike Nice, that was Boston. You're right. I know my mind. I know I'm close because I live in California, so I don't really keep up with that. But I want to show you guys this. Some of you guys might have seen it. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Hold on here. I'm not sure. I don't want that one. How about this one? Let's see if you guys seen this one. Have you guys seen this? Hold on. My friend's there. My friends. There's no sound to this. I can get it bigger. I'm assuming this is a church. This lady, if you can look really close, you could see her underwear or her thong. Whatever this is, she has some black panties on in a church. I'm saying it's a church because I'm seeing this little pews here. And yeah. How cute. She's very attractive. Big old hips, big old booty. Well, what do you guys think? That's a church. That's a church. This woman is in a church. I'm a Catholic, so I can't speak on really anything really other than Catholic, but I am going to comment. What church is this? How many of you guys seen that video? She's performing. It's a church. Even if the church hired her to perform, what in her mind made her think it's acceptable to step into a house of God dressed like that? Allie Davis says the church won't be exempt from judgment. Yeah, Jesus Christ even said he will hold the pastors and the church more responsible than the people that are actually doing the sin. Yeah, Mike Nice. I thought it was the club when I first saw it, but if you could see the pews that were on the side, it was a church. Unless they're having clubbing at the church, which, again, I think that's inappropriate because it looks like they were in the sanctuary. I can understand if you're at the other building, the rec building or something. Arnabelle Vance says, the church, for the most part, doesn't teach true religion. Stephen Hill says, oh, they are doing way worse than that. Wow. Nothing surprises me anymore, to be honest. I'm not fazed. That's a logical thinker. Crystal Watson says, it's a freak show, baby, on the dance floor. Mike Nice, there it is, Thursday. Now, again, I'm Catholic, okay? And for those of you guys that have never been to a Catholic church, you want to talk about boring, ritualistic, okay? We don't have like bands. I mean, some churches do, but we don't be like jamming. In the Catholic church, we deal with a lot of harmony, right? Some of you guys are like, what do you mean? Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya, kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. We get that stuff. We don't get the, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with the little Jesus Christ. Ain't nothing wrong. We don't get that. Okay, we get harmony. Okay. And as a Catholic, when I would go to my cousins' churches and stuff, and I would see these guys jamming, I would be like horrified. And people jumping up in the aisles, I would literally do this, because it's supposed to be solemn, you know, this is supposed to be a serious thing, you know, this is Jesus. You're supposed to be like a monk, like, but again, other churches are other churches, you know, and I'm not going to down them for that, but I can say one thing: the Catholic Church, no matter where you go, no matter what language it is, you can follow along because it's ritualistic. Stand up here, you sit down here, you do this, you do that, move, move, move. Even if you don't even understand what they're saying, you know, in the what they're preaching for the day, it's ritualistic. You get your little bread if you're going to eat, take communion that day, and you go about your business. But no matter where you're at, you are out of that church in 45 minutes. Basic, sir. I used to be an altar boy. 45-minute basic. If there's like a special presentation going on, maybe an hour, but no more than that. Sometimes you go in there and the Catholic Church will say, Jesus was wonderful. See you next week. That's it. You're out of there. You're out of there. You didn't miss your football games. You didn't miss your you know, whatever was going on, you still had plenty of time. I went to a friend of mine's church. I think it was Pentecostal. We were in there for 5 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, how long is this going to last? What are we doing? You could only pass the plate so many times. I mean, we're in a poor neighborhood. What do you expect to get out of here? You know, it was just crazy to me. So Averlogical Thinker says, last year I attended a church that had a comedy show. I had to leave because it definitely wasn't Christian comedy. Wow. The men in that church are not in control. The church is ruled by the JJ. Wow, facts not feeling. Your Averlogical Tinker says Catholic Church in and out in an hour. Yep, see, I told you, ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Facts not feeling. I've been to a Catholic church before. I didn't understand it. I was a little kid. Yeah, you know, if you're not indoctrinated in it, because it is ritualistic. A lot of people think Catholics pray to Mary. We don't pray to Mary. There is a prayer for Mary, because if you're the king and your mother walked into the room, shouldn't she be given reverence? And if you read the prayer of Mary, that's basically what it's saying. Mary is the mother of God. Holier is she than any other woman on the earth. You know, you can do your research on that, but that's pretty much what it is. Very ritualistic in the Catholic Church. Odd Negroes Official says, I went to Catholic school, snooze fest for sure. Yes, I went to Catholic school too, private institutions, but Odd Negroes Official, maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but the one thing about Catholic school that did do for me, it did prepare me to be a good student and how to study. And, you know, it set my foundation on how to study and be a good student, because there wasn't a lot of kids in there. And then when I went to school, because you seem like Odd Negroes Official, you're probably you look about 27. So I'm way older than you are. That's when the nuns could put their hands on you. You know, they wrapped you with the thing, and you had the paddle of knowledge, and they can do you some harm if you're not acting right. Star Child says 2 hours is what I remember. Okay. Your Average think I missed midnight mass on Christmas Eve with my granny. Yeah, I went to midnight mass this year, so you know I'm getting older. And it's funny, when I was younger, I didn't really care about that stuff because I'm partying. But as you get older and you know you're getting closer to death, you know you're getting sicker and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to midnight mass. You know, but the Catholic churches are getting hip. They know people be sleeping, plus people start donating more. Yeah. Well, yeah, and well, I knew official. I was got to remember we have that big scandal we still have to pay for. It really drained the coffers of the American Catholic Church. The abuses that were going on here, we paid a lot of money in those abuse cases. Mike Nice says, y'all remember that episode of the Bernie Mac show when he went to church? Received the body of Christ. With that kind of time, you were being beat up with that kind of time, 5 hours. I remember that pointer stick. Yeah, they used to just rap you and stuff. And those were the good old days, you know, when everything was the way it was, you know, and it wasn't called abuse. It was called discipline and all this great stuff. But why I showed you guys that video, if you hadn't seen it, whatever, it makes me wonder if we have people spiritually that is accepting of that type of situation, and I don't know what kind of church that is. I'm not here to judge whatever. If we think that's acceptable, no wonder we have no problem with being abused by the system that we live under. Look at the crap we're accepting in our spirituality. Look at how we are objectifying our Black women. And that brings up another point. Ladies, if you're a feminist, I don't give a damn. Be a feminist. But where are the feminists outraged at what you just saw? Isn't that wasn't that woman being objectified? Or is it okay because she objectified herself? I mean, I don't get it. Selective outrage. It's selective. Either we're going to protect our women or we're not. I am not going to let my woman or any woman, I'm going to say something. You are not going to come into the church, much less go outside looking like a streetwalker, unless you're a streetwalker. But we're afraid to say anything. Another good thing about the Trump administration is we're getting rid of this, don't say nothing, whatever. No, say what you need to say. Freedom of speech. Say what you need to say. Straight out. Doesn't matter if you don't like it. It's been said. It's crazy. Facts Not Feeling says, freedmen in wanted land separate from whites to till and develop. 40 acres and a mule. They knew anti-Black hatred never ended after Civil War. Civil rights leaders push integration and sold us out. God, you got so much knowledge, you guys. I learned so much from you guys. They'll be all right. U.S. aid been paying their bills. Yeah, Odd Negroes official. That's exactly what's happening. What they didn't count on, you guys, was the fact of the internet and what it would do. We are now understanding that we, all across this nation, as Black people, have the same problems with the same enemies. And they didn't count on that. We're all speaking to each other in one voice. And I think that is what they're trying to do. And if you guys don't pay attention to these Democrats, they believe in censorship more than anybody else. They don't want to be highlighted what's going on. That is why they are trying so hard to censor these platforms. Remember, Mark Zuckerberg, he was doing what the Biden administration and the Biden DOJ was telling him to do. Stopping things that posts that were anti-Biden, anti-Kamala. Now look what's going on. Freedom of speech. A lot of people say, men don't have the right to speak up under a woman's clothes. Well, I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. As a father, if your father told you that you were dressed inappropriately, what he says doesn't matter. Oh, that's my daddy. He's still a man. I think. We really got to sacrifice ourselves and get back to common sense principles, you guys. As Black people, we are perishing. We're perishing. I am sick and tired of seeing Black women and children suffering in homelessness and coming to city council meetings begging for resources. And yet their hair is done, their nails are done, their kids are wearing $300, $400 shoes, whatever. Oh, wait, you shouldn't be worried about what they spend their money on. Well, damn. Well, you're still asking for resources. Black men, you ain't a man if you got your children out there living in a homeless life. Yeah, I said it. You're not a man. You made a life. You need to take care of that life according to what the law says you need to take care of that life. But I got all these younger men talk about, man, I'm so hard, man, I'll kill a motherfucker. I'll kill a motherfucker. Well, great. Because you're not supporting your children, you're killing them. It's a damn shame. And then you have the nerve to ask the daughter, because, you know, ladies, men are different. We don't like to take care of other grown men. That is how it is. I have 2 sons. I don't expect my sons to take care of me. My brother has 2 sons and 2 daughters. I told them, you got those daughters, they're going to take care of him. No matter how hard he was on his daughters, because he's kind of spoiled the boys. That's what happens. He was hard on his girls. The girls have to be in at 10 o'clock, be in the house. The boys, they can stay out a little longer. They're boys. They don't want to do it. I know it's a double standard, but there's a different outcome, right? But I told my brother, you got daughters, you're going to be taken care of. I don't have daughters. So I'm out here by myself. I have to take care of myself. At the end of the day, I have to take care of myself. Now, I have a good relationship with my nieces. Maybe they'll check up on uncle, you know, but outside of that, I'm on my own. Fellas, you're not a man, and you got your daughters out here without your protection. There's no way in hell Ray Ray and Pookie should be an option to your daughters if you're the father in their life. Is that what you want for your daughter? A dude that ain't got no future, has no skills, has no way to provide for this woman, but has the nerve to stand up in your face and talk about he's a man. When you guys don't understand on the Demetra K show, when you guys see me on Demetra K show, her sister, her little sister, woo, that girl's a monster. You guys, this girl is a monster. And what I mean by a monster, all woman, okay? Demetra's cute, but her sister is all woman, okay? Now, in high school, I didn't want to give that girl a look at all, okay? She used to come over to my house all the time with her friend who liked me and wanted to get with me, but I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I ain't dealing with her, right? And I'm looking at Amanda, Demetra's sister, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, she's all right, but now I'm going to the military. Hell with this shit, right? Fast forward 4 or 5 years later, I see Amanda. Holy crap. Educated. She went to Grambling for college. She's a teacher. She's a tenured teacher, whatever. She's got herself together. Never been married. Never been married. If I had a shot to get with her, I tell her all the time, even when I see her, when she comes out here to California, we have lunch, I'd be like, hey, look, hey, help a brother out, but who knew? So what I'm saying is, fellas, my story is, when we were younger, I couldn't go to Demetra's father and meet him as a young 17-year-old kid with nothing. Demetra's dad is famous to say, you're not fit to walk among men. And I would always think about that. And I'd say, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then it really hit to me. He's right. I am not fit to walk among real men until I get my shit together. So when I see these young men nowadays, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, that's what I think about. You're not fit to walk around me. You're not even fit to be in my circle. It's just crazy how the thing that we hate, we actually become. Not that I hated it, but you rebel against your parents, but you actually do adopt a lot of what your parents have instilled in you. It was just repressed. But Demetra's sister, man, that's a bad chick. I'm telling you. I know a lot of you fellas look at Demetra and say, man, she's a bad chick. And Demetra is a bad chick. But her sister, woo-wee. And if you guys ever got an opportunity to see Demetra's mom, you never saw a more even-handed woman. Now, don't get me wrong. She had her ghetto ways now. I mean, she'll cut you. You know what I mean? If when messing with her kids and stuff. But she was so even-handed as a mother. It was unbelievable and very beautiful. I remember when I first saw her mom, I walked into the house and her mother was sitting on the couch. And I went, oh, shit. It was like a shock because she was so beautiful. This woman was beautiful. and just elegant, the way she carried herself and stuff. And you see that in Demetra a little bit, but see, what you guys don't know about Demetra, Demetra's ghetto. Demetra's super ghetto. When they go high, Demetra definitely goes low. Okay. I'm just telling you guys the tea. You want the tea about Demetra, get it from me. She skipping school, kicked me out of the Black Student Union. I didn't want to be a part of that crap. I didn't even join it. But the point is, you know, she wanted to be with her boyfriend and stuff like that. I'm telling you, Demetra was something else. But let me tell you, Demetra is a very loyal person. She's very loyal. She's very loyal, and she isn't one of these women that I got a degree and so I deserve this type of man, whatever. Demetra meets you where you're at. She's an old school soul. So she's a traditional person, like I'm a traditional person. So when you see Demetra and I actually going at each other, that's real. That is real. I'm not going to take no shit from Demetra or any woman. Because what's love got to do with it? What the problem is, ladies? That's what I'm about. I'm a traditional man. I believe in taking care of my woman. And ain't no woman that I'm taking care of going to give me no lip. Simple as that. Straight up. Yeah, Steven, I know she's going to see the video. She knows I don't pull no punches. I don't pull no punches when it comes to that. I'm telling you guys the truth. The truth. But she was about her business. What she tells you about her, she's very real. So that authentication that you see with her, that originality, that's her. That's how she was even in high school. She was about the business. You know, she was, her father is a priority to her. And see, that's the difference, fellas. For those of you guys that don't know, that's the difference. When you are a father and the protector and the provider for your daughters, their outcomes are totally different. Totally different. Totally different. Now, you ladies don't understand men, but men rebel against other men. We just do. We get a certain age, hey, I got to go my own way. And you go your own way, you know, and that's the difference. A lot of people didn't even realize Demetra and Walter are brother and sister, and they are. But they are contrastly very different people. And then their little sister, all four of them have total different personalities. I'm gonna tell you guys that. But at the end of the day, I could never have a more honest and real friend. Seriously. Seriously. When you guys see Demetra and I going at it, you guys should see us when we're together here. But when it's all said and done, we're still cool. We're still cool. I am not ever going to be afraid to be who I am and be real with what I am. Demetra knows what I'm about. You know, oh, you should never hit a woman. No, that's bullshit. I will hit a woman. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And when I say that, don't take it out of context, you guys. There does come a time a man will have to hit a woman. He beats your mom. The woman beats your mama up. So what am I supposed to do? Oh, you beat my mama up. I'm not supposed to do nothing. You kicked my damn dog. Oh, I'm putting hands on you. You burned my house down. I'm putting hands on you. Especially if you beat my mama up. Okay? Especially if you beat my mama up. Who is going to condemn me for protecting my mama? Sorry. So, yeah, snitches get stitches. You're a logical thinker. Mike Knight says it's going to be on and popping come Sunday. I'm going to go tell Demetra Donovan tomorrow. Hey, I'm telling the truth. I ain't telling you guys nothing that she doesn't know already. Demetra is about her business. Now, when it comes to relationships, I ask Demetra all the time, why is this woman single? What is going on? She has been in so many, and I've been in bad relationships too, but she's been in relationships that I think that she doesn't deserve. Fellas, there are good women out there, just like Demetra, your average logical thinker. I mean, there are a lot of women out there that are very good women. I don't believe in compromise because people got the word compromise wrong. And I'll tell you why. Compromise is when you have something that I want and I have something that you want. We have to come to a compromise or an agreement so that we both get what we want. That's compromise. But if you want something from me, but I don't want nothing from you. Why should I compromise? Why should I be forced to come to the table? I just told you there's nothing from you that I want. And a lot of people think that you have to force a person to come to the table when they don't want nothing from you. And that's not compromise. That's called hostage negotiations. I'm going to force you to give me what I want. And that's not correct. Yeah, you have like in self-defense, I hope. Average logical thinker, you know that I am Dragonfly Jones over here. Demetra knows better to come over here with that foolishness. But anyway, I know you guys think I'm always up on the women and I'm always, derogatory toward the women. And it's not that I'm derogatory. Yeah, as a man or as a leader ordained by God, as a man, I'm going to have my opinion and I'm going to state what I think women should do. Now, unfortunately, in my situation, most women don't listen to a damn thing I have to say. That's just how it is. But I noticed that women get triggered quickly when you start saying things in regards to women, but they forget the other part of it, just like I just said here about men. You're not a man if you're not taking care of your children. It's one thing you don't want to be with the woman, but if you walk away from your children, you're definitely not a man. A lot of people forget that. And I'm always hard on the men. I am. I believe every man should pay child support because I'm a victim of child support. If I had to go through all that suffering, every man should go through that suffering. If that's the path you choose. Hopefully you won't do that. But I do talk to the men a lot. And I just think that, it's just something we have to say, be it man or woman. I lost my father at a young age. I was 5 years old. I lost my father. And the only parent I have is my mother. And my mother didn't raise no simps. My mother raised alpha males. Me and my brother, we are alpha males. And it's not something that she taught us. It's the men she surrounded us with, taught us how to be men, right? So I'm going to tell you, fellas, if you got daughters and if you're smart, you better be in those girls' lives, because when you get old like me and I'm getting older, you're going to want that daughter to look over you and, and check you out and stuff like that. I'll give you even a better example. My mother is the oldest of 12. Out of the 12 children, there's 8 girls. My grandfather that died last year, he wanted for nothing in his old age. Daughter to cook for him, daughters would come over and clean for him, clothes washed, all of that. My grandfather wanted for nothing. Why? Because he was a father that was involved in their lives. He was the king of the castle. Now, things, they're going to live their lives and stuff. But fellas, I'm telling you, the worst mistake you can make is not being in your daughter's lives. That's the worst. If you got daughters, you need to be in their lives, because you are the example of the men that they possibly will choose. They're going to garner that off of you as the model, period. If you're the model, and they're not always going to pick right, but a lot of them will. A lot of them will. Your Astrological Chinko talking to Jay, Steven talking Astrological Thinker. Corey Smith says exactly. Many women today make way more than men, and they then toss the men and expect him to pay child support. Yeah, but see, those laws are changing and the women are upset. You guys hear Donald Trump is doing something about the divorcing laws. He wants to change those. Women are upset. Steven says, I'm 100. PD reports the news, child support, been there, done that. Yeah, it's almost like a rite of passage, And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying men should not pay child support. We should. But if I'm paying child support, what's she paying? If you go to a lot of countries overseas and you're going through child support issues, they look at it and they split everything 50-50. If you're ordered to pay $500, and then she's ordered to pay $500. Everything is 50-50. So let's say 500, 250, 250. So she's got to produce that 250 as well as the dude. So we got to revamp these laws. Donovan, Stephen Hill says, Donovan, I'm still watching over my grown, hard-headed daughters, and I too paid all my child support in full. Yeah. But see, the thing is, you're investing in your future. When you are old and senile, God forbid, hopefully that doesn't happen. But when you're old and you need people to visit you and stuff, it's going to be your daughters that's going to visit you. Your sons, they're going to fund you. It's like me with my mom. Daughters take care of the fathers. Sons take care of the mothers. For some reason, that's just how it works. My mother, financially, she's independent, whatever. But my mom knows when she needs anything, it's there, it's done. Between my brother and I, my mother doesn't have to worry about a damn thing. Now, she ain't going to take advantage of us and just be going to the casino, wasting all her money, and then coming to us. But yeah, my mom knows when it comes down to it, fundamentally, that's my only parent. My mom's not going to go without. So the sons take care of the moms, but the daughters take care of the fathers. And the bad thing is, unfortunately, as a son, my mother's going to pass, whatever. If I don't have a daughter, and I don't, I'm out here by myself, dog. I'm out here by myself. If I don't get married, and deal with what I need to deal with and find me a companion. So you fellas that have daughters and you've been in your daughters' lives, God bless you guys. You guys are going to be taken care of. I'm envious of that. I don't have any grandchildren that I'm aware of. And I say that because I'm not, I don't know. But if I have a granddaughter, maybe I can invest in her. I don't know. Maybe she could help grandpa. And I say this to you ladies too. And I know I'm rambling, but I want to hurry and get off of here. I say this to the ladies too. If you picked a horrible, horrible father for your children, and a lot of you guys do, the relationship doesn't work out, we get it. Always remember this. He might be a horrible husband or partner or boyfriend or father, right? Terrible. I can't tell you how many horrible friends that I had that didn't do for their children, whatever, but those dudes do for their grandchildren. They don't have much, but they do for their grandchildren. I tell you that. And sometimes that's how it works. You got to play that leverages. So I know, ladies, you guys get frustrated with men and we ain't shit and this, that, and all that other stuff. But always think of the future. He might not be shit because of his circumstances, living life as a Black man. I'm not making excuses. The stress and all this other stuff. He made bad decisions. He went to jail for 40 years. But I guarantee you, in most cases, as a grandfather, that dude will be chilled out and about his grandkids. Almost definitely. I'll put my money on that. Facts, not feelings. I would love for Trump to fix the marriage laws where I can marry two beautiful women like Demetra, an average logical thinker. Hey, yeah, that'd be nice, man. The good old days. But if you think about it, facts, not feelings, and ladies, I'm getting there. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Aren't we already doing that? Facts, not feelings. Aren't we already doing that? Isn't Ray sleeping with 4 and 5 different women around the same time, having children with them? Aren't we already doing that? We got this girlfriend here. We got this girlfriend there. Why do we need paper? I think we're already doing that. So I don't know. But think about this. We need to revamp those laws. How can you get married to somebody for 2 years and then she takes half your assets? That's the stuff we got to figure out. And then if she has more assets than him, ladies, Mary J. Blige situation. How outrageous is that man is taking her stuff and they don't have any kids together and he's entitled to this and she's got to pay him? That is so outrageous. What do you think we've been saying for all these years? That doesn't make sense. I mean, I think they were married for what, 8, 9 years? And she's got to pay him alimony? That's outrageous. I'm with you, ladies. But that's what men go through. See, women don't like it when the situation is reversed. Yeah, Donovan, insurance can take care of all that. Yeah, they can. But unfortunately, in our community, you know the story. We rather smoke our weed and our tweeds, get our drink, get our hose, than pay for an insurance policy. So again, yeah, insurance can get you the best health care you can have in your older years. But yeah, facts, not feelings. When do most Black men take health insurance seriously? When they already have a pre-existing condition to where the premium is up here. Then it's too late. CJ says, I've seen that grandfather thing occur. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I had cousins that had a bunch of, they just screwed over a bunch of women and their kids, but they're the best grandparents ever. I mean, I don't know if, I don't know if that's a thing where he's trying to make it up or whatever, but it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late to be truthful. You know what I mean? You might not get justice. You ladies might not get justice of being treated correctly because you can't go back in time, but it's never too late to be truthful. Facts, not feelings, and many women are okay with it. Yeah, so disgusting. CJ says, Mike Nice says, CJ, hey you, Stephen Hill. Stop it, Donovan. Facts, not feelings says, CJ, women have no problem being with the guy who is with another woman. Here's proof. Who would a woman choose? Michael B. Jordan or a dude virgin dude? I rest my case. Well, like I said, you got a lot of confused young people out here now, where the women are getting with each other and they're getting a dude. What is this thing called now? It's a new thing, polyamorous lifestyles now, where people are just together. I don't even get me started. I mean, I was born at the wrong time. I'm old fashioned. Just give me a wife and I'll just have a side chick. I'm just an old fashioned guy. So it is what it is. But hey, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, I apologize for the earlier interruption. Do me a favor, go check out and subscribe to your Average Logical Thinkers channel. Don't forget my good friend, Brother Reggie in Japan. Go check out his page. CJ will soon be putting up her podcast. She is in the middle right now of building the studio. She's going to take $100,000 like Kamala Harris did. And, it's going to be a green screen, but, she's going to pay $100,000 for somebody to give her a $35 green screen. And she's building that thing, and she's going to have a podcast. And I hope to be one of the first guests on her podcast. Because like I said, CJ, you, Facts Not Feelings, Mike Nice, Stephen Hill, everybody here has knowledge that we need to spread throughout the nation, if not the world. So we really got to do that. We got to support each other when we do that. Look out for CJ's podcast. I really do think, because, being on video is not for everybody, but you can do a podcast and, I could just be driving home and listening to your voice, telling me something I didn't know. So I'm really pushing CJ to do that. I think she would be wonderful doing that. But check out those subscriptions. And again, do not forget the African Diaspora News Channel. They are doing 20% off annual subscriptions, Black History Month only. Go over there, buy a subscription for a friend, a family member, whatever. Matter of fact, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. What better gift than a yearly subscription to the African Diaspora News Channel? Check that out. So anyway, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, I am so sorry for the interruption, but my friend, I don't get to see my friend as often as I would like, and he stopped by, and so we just chatted it up real quick. But Demetra is scheduled tomorrow. Hopefully she'll have something to talk about. And yeah, you guys, you can tell Demetra what I said. I ain't afraid. Look, like she says, my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid over here. She knows what's up. So you guys be safe, be kind, be blessed. I will check you guys out Sunday for sure. If I am not on the show Sunday, somebody call my mama, because I am missing and Demetra is a suspect. Talk to you guys later.